really crazy. This is so strange. Like, you're just walking up and down in the same outfits all the time, being weird over and over again. It must look from the outside like a completely useless, like a useless endeavor.
You must keep moving, man. This is most free around. I don't know who said you can take like a Sunday off and you're strolling this road, man. You're not crying about it.
But that's kind of the fun of it as well.
Yeah, and the guy where I buy my cigarettes, I always stop and buy a cigarette from the same guy, and he's never asked me what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But then after day 2, he's like, he's got the cigarette ready. And then today I bought a book.
From 2015 to 2016, I ran a year-long public art project in the suburbs of Bertrams, Lawrenceville and Judithspaal, just east of Johannesburg city centre. In the July of 2016, I started working with a small cast of professional actors alongside the members of the Bertrams community the project had already engaged. We were combining urban studies, theatre and performance to explore the rhythms of daily life, to make a play that would reflect our findings. Together we created Izithombe 2094. In this short film, actors Tony Morkel and Lindiwe Machikiza and myself, Alex Halligy, reflect on the playmaking process.
The stage is this neighborhood. The characters on the stage, it's just that the stage happens to be filled with all kinds of people and lots of unknowns.
That's that little bit of history. Now
The actors played fictitious characters from the neighborhood and took audiences on a walking tour of that part of the city, blurring the line between the real and imagination, highlighting the overlooked aspects of the everyday, which are key to placemaking in cities.
And we have lots of, all the research is in there. It's not necessarily obvious to an audience, but all the characters are based on very specific or combinations of people that we've met or stories we've thought of or stuff we've worked out in the rehearsal process. And for me, that's where it lives.
Yeah, so that's quite an interesting thing to consider.
The idea was to link daily placemaking to the artistic practice of playmaking, to learn about what city space might be becoming, to strategize and support these becomings. Thoughts and reflections and possibilities for art making out of what we've been working with. Ideas for what the final play might be. So just anything can go up, anything can be possible, and then we can start editing down and thinking, okay, what can we actually do in terms of time, in terms of budget, in terms of resources, and so on.
How do you change the view? If you
go around all these things down.
Yeah, otherwise we're back in the same situation.
I think it's very important that it stays grounded in the community. So critical to my research is the relationship between space and people. So the area is as much a performer as all the humans and the animals that are moving through it, So I think it's critical that it's performed here.
For me, that's where it lives. If we take it to the Market Theatre, then we don't know. It's kind of what is it? Whereas here you've got all this texture.
Every time you do the walk, there's something different. So if I see something that we haven't seen before, that's exciting.
Oh, and just, hi, hello.
Seeing the theatre in the everyday, but also using the theatre to kind of heighten the everyday, and that way of walking, or that way when you walk past that building with that sunlight is amazing, But I want for this theatre piece to elicit participation from the audience, for the audience to feel like they can join in and interact.
The hope was to give participants moments of authority over the history and forces of power which contribute to shaping their daily lives in Bertrams, Lawrenceville and Judithspaal.
Oh, I know who I am. Hi guys. Hello. Hi, Alex.
The area feels familiar and it feels like home and it feels like there's a beauty and an attachment to it, but there's also a feeling that it's dangerous, that there's drunk people on the street, that there are drug issues, those things come up as well, and it's kind of dichotomy between people feeling very attached to the place and people feeling wary and concerned about other aspects of it.
Having to actually engage with people, and people that I've been too afraid to even have eye contact with, I've gone and chatted to, and I've forced myself to. It's become easier and easier. Guy I was afraid of 10 days ago, now he's like besties, not quite, but you know what I mean. There's a relationship. And I'm realizing that, you've got to make the effort to break the boundaries, and then once you have, your own fear is...
Exactly.
Watching this footage edited together and hearing our voices, Tony's, Lindiwe's, mine, a male voice I can't identify now. Was he an audience member? My first thought is, why isn't Baletsi Tsatsi's voice more present? Baletsi co-facilitated the project with me from the beginning, assistant directed the play and performed in it as Sister Bay, but somehow her interview has got lost in the fragments of footage compiled here. That such a significant voice in the work should not be foregrounded points to all the voices in the work and in daily life that are not loud, the actions that are not overtly visible, but that are making deeply significant contributions to daily placemaking in the city. The play was Izithombe 2094, Pictures of Postcode 2094, fragments of Bertram's Lorentzville and Judith Parr life in 2016. This short film is more fragments, and like the play, it both captures and presents that which is not always obviously visible, and signals all the voices and actions that aren't captured here or presented here, but are vital to city spaces becoming places, that are vital to city living.
Our hope is that people who live locally and people who are coming from outside the area are going to feel freer through the walking tour, to walk around the streets and to see aspects of their neighborhood they wouldn't normally see, or in the case of people coming outside, see aspects of Bertram's that they didn't know about, or come to a place they've never been before, but that's in their city, that's in Joburg.
And the beauty of such a project is that you get to see for yourself what really happens in the neighborhood, as opposed to hearing rumors or reading about it.
Routes people walk through the area, the shortcut you take across an open lot, a game you play on the pavement, the place where you go to buy your vegetables, all of those kind of really little, small, everyday textures that's exciting. That's what's interesting for me, and what I hope this walking tour offers a glance onto.